Two-time NBA champion and Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard has been the biggest curse to his LA Clippers franchise. I mean, he's completely nuked this team. He's put this team deep into the dirt. There's no telling when they're going to recover from this or if they even do at this point. It's just not looking good for this franchise. They have only made one conference finals appearance in the 6 years that Kawhi has been a Clipper. They missed the playoffs in 2022. They've only made it past the first round of the playoffs twice in the 6 years that Kawhi has been a Clipper. And it's just more of a downward spiral that's happening now. I mean, they're currently 4-11. They're the 11th seed in the West right now. And of course, Kawhi being Kawhi, he's out. Like there's not even a sign or an update on when he will be back. And I mean, that's just typical. He played 37 games last year. He's played 52 games in both 2021 and 2022. And it's just typical. Like I said, it's typical. It's unfortunate. Add to the fact that they probably made the worst trade in NBA history in order to get Kawhi. It's just like, where do you even go from here? How do you get that unlucky? How do you become that down bad as an NBA team? So, obviously, the poison in this whole situation is Kawhi Leonard. Now, when Kawhi first joined the Clippers, going back to this awful trade, he joined the Clippers under an agreement that he made with the general manager or the management in general, and that was to get Paul George. He was not going to join the Clippers if Paul George wasn't traded for. Now, while Paul George was balling that year, he was averaging 28 points with the Thunder. He came to the Clippers, and I mean, he produced, but when you look at the aftermath of that trade, PG is washed at this point, and he was traded for SGA along with other picks, along with a lot of first-round picks. It was like I said, let me just read the trade, just to give you an idea if you don't already know. Paul George was traded in exchange for reigning MVP and Finals MVP SGA, Danilo Gallinari, a 2021 first-round pick, which ended up being Trey Mann, a 2022 first-round pick, which ended up being Jalen Williams, a 2024 first-round pick, which ended up being Dylan Jones, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick swap, and a 2026 first-round pick. Yeah, moment of silence. One player, technically two. Technically, they got Kawhi Leonard. He's off a championship. They got PG, who's a reigning MVP candidate at this point. He never won an MVP, but technically they get two superstars, but they give away a huge amount of picks, and they give away, like I said, SGA, who he's became today. Really, the trade would have been a robbery. Looking back at it, it would have been a robbery just trading PG for SGA in itself. So, at this point, yeah, this is where we're at. The Clippers, if you just heard all of the picks that they gave away, they don't really have any picks, any valuable picks at this point. They don't have Paul George anymore. They really don't even have Kawhi anymore. I mean, technically, he still is on the team, but let's be honest. He's played less than 10 games this season, and like I said, no update, no hopes at this point. And it's just looking like maybe it's time to rebuild. Maybe it's time to hang it up. They have Harden. Harden's been balling. Harden is going to do what he does. But this is an aging roster. This is a roster whose star player doesn't play games. And this is a roster that they don't really have, like what is their angle? They can't really rebuild through the draft. They would probably have to trade for picks, but at the same time, like, who would want Kawhi Leonard at this point? It's funny because I seen a mock trade involving my Pistons trading for Kawhi Leonard. And the day they do that, that's the day I'll become a Bulls fan, a Pacers fan. Like, I would literally switch to the Pistons' rival team if they ever have the nerve to trade for Kawhi Leonard. It just won't sit right with me. It probably won't sit right with anybody whose team is the Pistons. Keep that man over there. Keep that man as far west. I think LA is as far west as you can really go, right? Keep him all the way over there in LA. Or take him all the way down south back to San Antonio. We don't want him. We don't want him in Detroit. We don't even want him near Detroit because he may get too close and strings may get pulled. Keep him where he's at because the Clippers are at a point where who knows how long it's going to take for them to rebuild. They've given up everything to try and win now, and you had to put some of the blame and actually a lot of the blame on the management because they also agreed to Kawhi Leonard's terms and they pulled those strings, they made those moves. But just in the aftermath, it's like you would think that Kawhi would hold himself more accountable in terms of staying healthy, playing more games, not being so heavily involved in load management as he's been in the past. He doesn't really even take any of the burden that the Clippers management faces. He's very quiet. He doesn't really speak up for them. He doesn't really defend them in press conferences. He's just like, he's a robot. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like he's a top 50 all-time player. Like he definitely has value, but what good is a player if they're never available? We know that availability is the best ability in the NBA. I mean, injuries are at an all-time high right now. Everybody is getting hurt. Everybody is out. But it's like this guy is always hurt. It doesn't matter what's going on, what's happening. He never. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi Leonard never played 70 games in the NBA season. You know, I feel like he discovered that he didn't have to play all of the games once he got those secure contracts and those guarantees. And I feel like ever since then, he just half-assed it. Maybe I'll play 50 games this year. Maybe I can go 30 this year, or maybe I should just amp it up a little bit, go 70 this year to secure my extension. That's the vibes that Kawhi Leonard gives me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Those are the vibes that he gives me. And what he has done to this Clippers team is awful. What they've also done to themselves by allowing him to, dictate these terms is also awful on the Clippers. So like I said, you can't just blame Kawhi. You have to also blame the Clippers, their staff, their management. But ultimately, I just feel like Kawhi should be taking more accountability. I feel like he should be on the floor. Whenever they say he's hurt, I'm just not buying it anymore. It's no way that a player is that hurt that much. Only him and Joel Embiid. You notice it's only really two players that always are out. They never play. They never play consistently. And there's 400 players in the league. So that wraps up this video. Let me know what you think about this. I don't pray for all of the Clippers fans at this point. Y'all are having it damn near. Y'all damn near up there with Dallas in terms of just the disappointment, and y'all don't deserve this shit either. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think Kawhi Leonard ruined this franchise? Do you think that the franchise can somehow rebound? Do you think that it's not as bad as I'm saying it is? I want to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't care what platform you're on. Make sure you're being notified. Hit the notification bell. And stay tuned for more episodes. This is Jada Bates, and I'm out.